Okay, hi everyone. Sorry, just give me a moment to check it's working fine. Can you guys just say hi in the chat box? Morning, can we have AUD, USD analysis please? Yes, you may, but give me a moment. I just need to check that everything's working fine. If you guys can hear me clearly, if you can see me clearly, you can see the screen, let me know in the chat box. In the chat box. Okay. Seems like everything's working. Hello. Okay, cool. Seems like everything's working. Hi. Okay, cool. Sorry, I do need to do the introduction before we actually start anything. So, hi everyone. Welcome to today's webinar brought to you by IC Markets. Thanks for waiting. I see a lot of you were here way earlier than scheduled. I was having a little bit of difficulties setting up because I had the wrong login. But anyways, yeah, I'm here now. So, yeah, we're gonna do a live. Hi, Tai Chi Man 23. We are doing a live analysis session today. Today's the 8th of November. It is 5:38 here in Singapore. We usually start at 5:30. I just had a little bit of technical difficulties earlier on, but it's settled now. So let's start. Let's not delay anymore. Okay, cool. Okay, before we start anything, of course, I need to go through the disclaimer. You guys already know how this works. Anything I share with you guys in this webinar should not be construed as any form of trading advice, investment advice, or any form of signal to buy or sell. I know we are doing a live analysis session, but it does not mean that I'm giving you a signal to buy, to sell, or whatever it is. I am merely showing you my style of doing my analysis and my style of looking for trades. It should not be an opportunity for you to take it as I'm giving you any setups or trade to trade with, to enter or to buy or sell. Okay, so please take this purely as educational. Take this as seeing how a different trader would trade. Okay, just seeing how a trader would do the analysis from a different perspective. Okay, so yeah. I'm gonna have to stay here for a minute or two so that you guys have a little bit of time to read through the disclaimer. In the meantime, I'm going to get some water. Yeah, you guys read through this while I get some water. Once I'm back, you guys should have been done with this. Okay, hi everyone, I am back. I think that should be enough time for everyone to read through the disclaimers. Let's continue with the introduction to your host. So, for those who don't already know me, my name is Cass. You guys can call me. My name is Cassandra. You guys can call me Cass. I am an investment analyst and a prop trader. Okay, so I'm an investment analyst with Everest Fortune Group. We are a research firm based in Singapore. What we do is a lot of research, a lot of backtesting, a lot of forecasting, a lot of basically studying where the markets are going. On top of that, because I do spend a lot of time on the markets, right? I am also a prop trader. For prop trading, I am funded by multiple companies. How did I get these fundings? Is by doing 10% profit within a month. I heard that it's way easier now, but back then when I had to pass those tests, it was 10% profit within a month. Okay, a month is 22 trading days because the weekends are not counted. How do I do this 10%? I do it by using a lot of technical analysis, okay, and not so much a fundamental analysis, mostly technical analysis. But nowadays I do combine fundamental analysis as well to make my trades a little bit more higher probability. That being said, if you guys have any questions regarding trading or anything at all, do ask me in the chat box. I will try my best to answer you to the best of my ability. That's the whole point of IC Markets bringing these webinars to you guys. It's so that you guys have a place to like interact with a trader and ask them things that you are facing, like challenges that you are facing. Just bring it up and I'll try my best to help you. Okay, so agenda for today is to go through the cheat sheet checklist and live charts. The key approaches, we will do it later and on the live charts. Okay, so this is the cheat sheet checklist. For those who are here every week, you already know how this works. This is mostly for people who are here for the first time. But I mean, even if you've heard this many times, it's good to just refresh so that you have a rough direction of what we're doing every time I'm doing this live analysis. So the first things first is I'm gonna do these 3 parts. These 3 parts is very essential and important because these 3 parts will help me find number 1, the direction of the charts, meaning if it's going uptrend or downtrend. Okay, so if it's going up, I do want to look for a buy. If it's going down, I do want to look for a sell. Why? Because I am a trend trader. A trend trader meaning that I follow trend. So if price is going up, I want to go with the waves. If price is going down, I want the waves to push me to my take profit as well. So how do I do that, or how do I get a more accurate analysis? That's by using a trend line or a channel. So a trend line, I would need 3 touches at least. 3 significant touches that, okay, trend lines are never perfect. Then again, nothing is ever perfect in trading. So if I see 3 touches that make sense to me or is significant enough, then yeah, I'm going to consider that a valid trend line. A channel, I would need 4 touches, minimally 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. That means 2 at the resistance area and 2 at the support area for it to be considered a valid channel. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to pull out horizontal levels. So this is where I use a horizontal level to look for my entry, stop loss, and take profit. Okay, so these are the 3 things I'm going to use with my horizontal levels. So when I say horizontal levels, I really mean like horizontal support and resistance, pullbacks, overlaps, significant swing highs and swing lows, and fib levels. Okay, so it could be Fibonacci retracement, Fibonacci extension, Fibonacci expansion, Fibonacci expansion. Okay, whatever it is, fib levels or whatever that will help me find levels that make sense on a horizontal way so that I can find better entry, stop loss, and take profits. So once I'm done with this, I should be able to know where I'm getting in for my buy or my sell. I should be able to know where my stop loss is, and I should be able to know where my take profit is. Okay, so to make my analysis more accurate, things that you can combine is number 1, fundamental analysis, obviously, which is not what we're going to do right now, because right now we're just going to do a live analysis session, meaning I'm just going to go on the charts and show you guys how I would usually do my charting. But yeah, things that will help my analysis be more accurate would be to look for chart patterns. So when I say chart patterns, it can be wedges, triangles, double top, double bottom. These are just examples. Obviously, there are way more chart patterns like head and shoulder, teacup pattern, or whatever it is. There's so many chart patterns out there. If you identify it, it will help you determine whether your analysis is accurate or not, or the likelihood of it hitting your take profit. Okay, so the next thing would be if there are any death or golden crosses. So when I say death or golden crosses, that's me using the moving average with the settings of 500, sorry, not 500, 250. Okay, to see if price is moving on an uptrend or a downtrend, to see if price is suggestively bullish or bearish. So once I'm done with that, I will look for any natural moving averages. If I cannot find any death or golden crosses, I will then look for natural moving averages. Usually I don't look for this because this would be good enough. Okay, then I will pull out stochastics and RSI to look for support and resistance levels, for bounces and reactions, and divergences. Okay, so once I'm done with all this, I can make my analysis even more accurate or higher probability by doing using correlations. So example of correlations would be any strongly correlated currency pairs that are supporting your bias. So the first example this is the example I use every week anyways. This is EUR USD. So if you are charting on EUR USD and you want to enter for a buy for EUR, that means you want to sell the USD, right? So then you can do your correlations or do another analysis on DXY. DXY is the US dollar index. Okay, US dollar index where you can track the movement of the US dollar. So if you want EUR to go up, you essentially want DXY and USD to go down. So then you can do your analysis on DXY as well to see if there is any correlation. Okay, so moving forward, any strongly correlated asset classes supporting or against your bias. So for example, Canadian dollars and oil. So if the prices of Canadian dollars goes up, usually the prices of oil goes up as well. Sorry, it's the other way around. If the prices of oil goes up, usually the prices of Canadian dollars goes up as well. Why? Because they are strongly correlated, because Canada is a very big producer of oil. Okay, this is just one example. There are many other examples that we can see, like Australia and the commodity that they usually release. I cannot remember what it is right now. Sorry, it just slipped on my mind. But yeah, so different countries are usually certain countries are usually tied to different commodity prices. Okay, for Canadian dollars, it is oil. Okay, so then the last correlation example is for crosses. What does the majors say? So when I say majors, I mean like the major currency. So EUR, AUD, USD, and NZD, USD, for example, you can use them as correlation because they usually move in the same direction because the currency is quite correlated. Okay, so moving forward, we've also got once you're done with all of this, we now can decide if you want to go for a reversal or a breakout. But usually the reversal or the breakout, I would figure it out by this part. So this part and this part is quite, they are correlated in a way. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Let me pull out TradingView and then we can start. Give me a moment, guys. Thanks for sitting through that introduction. It is compulsory for me to do that introduction, by the way, guys. Let me pull out. So the first things first is what I want to do now is review what we went through last week first before I start with the analysis that you guys are asking for. So I've already got a request for AUD USD, so we can do AUD USD in a bit, but in the meantime, I do want to go through what happened last week. Last week, I remember going through ETH USD, EUR USD, Interesting. Okay, and XAU USD, I remember. Okay, so let's go one at a time. I didn't get into any of these trades, by the way. I was sick last week, and I also told you guys that it was not high probability setups, but I mean, let's just review it again right now. Um, what do I think about EUR/USD? I still think it's looking rather. Is this a breakout? Is this a breakout or a fake out? Let me see. I mean, depending on how you draw it, it still looks like it's on a downtrend, honestly. Okay, I think nothing has happened since last week. I mean, we kind of are at the entry that I set last week, but I just don't know how accurate it is right now. Let me see, EUR/USD, same. We're kind of at the entry right now. So last week, I did this analysis for you guys on Wednesday. This broke out. I mean, if you got into this, you would have hit your stop loss technically because the entry would have been here and the stop loss is here, right? Which price hit. So we'll come back to this again in a while. XAU USD, I don't remember giving you guys anything because I did say it was just a general direction. Okay, so I hope nobody got into this. Okay, don't worry about that. Since nothing much has changed since last week, let's just do the AUD USD. And then we'll see how it goes from there. Okay, AUD USD. So on a weekly, we can see price is moving on a downtrend, right? I'm gonna change this to red. Yeah, like I said, nothing is ever perfect in trading, so it depends on how you draw it. It will be a downtrend. Depends on how you draw it. Yeah, it's still a downtrend. So we are kind of like at the resistance area of AUD USD. That being said, it makes me a bit biased to want to get in for a sell because on the weekly it has reached a resistance. But mind you, the weekly is a very big chart. So this could still wick. It could wick really high up before deciding to come down. Okay, and if it wicks, it would still be considered a valid downtrend because on the weekly, if it wicks, on the daily and the 4 hours, it doesn't look, it will still not look like anything. It's just like one or two candles. Okay, so this could wick very high before coming back down, but I do believe that we are on a downtrend. It's just that do you get into the sell now or later? So let's see where the entry for the sell is. So right now I am biased for the sell because the weekly is showing that it's a sell. Daily is also not really giving. Okay, so on the daily you can see that price is going sideways in this part. Okay, so you can see price coming here one time, two times. I gotta change the color of this so that it's more obvious. One time, two times, three times. I mean, this part missed it, but yeah, four times. And then it finally went up. Okay, so then that's the resistance part. I mean, support. The resistance You are kinda at a resistance level right now. Okay, you can see how price came here one time, two times. I know it missed by a little, but if I just move the box down a little, it would be perfect. 3 times, 4 times. This is just a fake out. 5 times. We're at the 6th time. Honestly, this looks like a classic Wyckoff method. Hey, the fake out happens here and then goes the other direction. Give me a moment, guys. Failed. Really? Okay. This is giving me Wyckoff method, to be honest. Okay, give me a moment. Yeah, I'm okay to believe that at some point soon, price is going to reverse. Okay? I'm a bit more biased to believe that price is suddenly going to reverse soon because it's giving me vibes of this being a fake out, price coming here. Okay, so this is just my bias. Again, please, I beg you guys, do not copy my trades. Okay, do not copy my analysis. It's dangerous because I could be wrong. Just because I'm someone who's been trading for a long time and I'm currently profitable, but it does not mean you should copy me blindly. Okay, you should only take my analysis and my setups as a learning curve. Okay, it's a place to see how someone else would do it. Okay, so right now I'm biased that it is a sell, number one, because the weekly has reached a resistance. The daily is just going sideways. There's this fake out here. It kind of looks like a Wyckoff where it's a distribution. Okay, so a distribution happens after an uptrend, which is here, and then you start seeing it kind of go sideways a little, and then it comes back down. Okay, so it looks kind of like that. So far, okay, so that being said, I am biased to enter for a sell somewhere here. Okay, here, 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 somewhere. Here, 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 somewhere. I don't know where, but then right now, I'm gonna do the analysis so that I know where my bias would be to get in for the sell. Okay, so let me go down to the smaller time frames to see what I can find. 1, 2. Let's see if we can find anything. I would want this to be 161 12.7. Okay, so we've got the 161.8 here. Okay, so the more Fibonacci levels lining up in the exact level, the more likely that's going to be my entry area. Okay, right now I have a bias that price is going to reverse anywhere within this maroon, this red box. Okay, anywhere within this red box, I think I'm going to look for a sell entry. I just don't know where in this red box, so I'm going to pull up Fibonacci levels so that I can find the area in that red box. Okay, let me pull out 161.8.6, 101.61. Nope. Okay, 2.618. Too far away. The more levels signing up here, the more likely it is going to become my entry level. Trying to see if I can find anything else. Let's see if I can. Not the best structure, but I'll try. 78.6. Nope. One Fibonacci level, honestly, for me is not good enough to enter for a sell. Okay, I want to enter for a sell somewhere within this red box, but I need more reason to enter. So right now we've got a 161.8 lining up here, and it's just one level, so I need more levels. I'm just trying to see if I can find anything else. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me see. How about a negative level? Sorry, that won't work. Maybe this, but structurally it doesn't look the best. Nope. Let's see what the indicators are saying. I'm going to pull out the things on our checklist. So I'm gonna pull out. I don't see any chart patterns. If you guys see any chart patterns, let me know in the chat box. I'm gonna pull out the SMA, the moving average. I'm gonna pull out stochastics and RSI, and I'm gonna pull out one more, which is Ichimoku. It's not there, but I'm gonna pull it out anyways. Okay, so the moving average, RSI, stochastics, and Ichimoku cloud, which is all saying that it's a buy. Okay, Ichimoku is saying that it's a buy. Okay. This is saying that it's a buy. Ichimoku is saying it's a buy. All the indicators are saying that it's a buy. Give me a moment, guys. RSI has stopped working here. Yeah. RSI and stochastics are not giving accurate information anymore. So what am I doing when I'm looking for RSI and stochastics? I'm looking for highs, right? Okay, so I'll give you an example. Every time RSI and stochastic reaches a resistance area on, okay, I'm gonna get rid of RSI. Resistance area here, you find that it also reaches a high. So it's time for a reversal. Okay, so same on the chart. Here, small reaction here, not the best. Here, it also reaches a high. It's time for a reversal. But you can see here, it stopped working. So here, price has reached a resistance, but on the charts, it's still going up. Price has reached a resistance, still going up. Price has reached the resistance, still going up. Therefore, I cannot use stochastics and RSI to give me accurate analysis at this current point of time, because it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is giving me support and resistance levels. Okay, that's exactly how you use an indicator, by figuring out if the indicator is even working to begin with. Okay, I personally don't think it's working. Okay, I won't be able to give a very accurate information on this chart. All the indicator that I pull out is suggesting that it is bullish. Okay. I personally think that it's bearish because I prioritize price action more than indicators. Okay, but my rule when it comes to trading is that price action and indicators must align, and they must say the same things for me to enter a trade. In this case, RSI, the indicators are saying another story, whereas price action is saying another story. So why do I think that it's a sell? Because when we look at the weekly, price has reached a resistance level. right? It has reached a resistance. It means that if we look at this, every time price comes here, it tends to reverse. So every time price touches this red line, it tends to reverse. Right now, price is at that red line again, and it's time to reverse, okay? Unless price wants to do a breakout, okay? But I mean, there's no reason for me to suddenly think that price is going to do a breakout unless we see other information, like maybe fundamental analysis, maybe the news is saying that the Aussie dollars is going up in price or whatever. But on a technical point of view, I cannot suddenly think or predict price breaking this. As a trader, my only job is to see the information on the charts and make my decision based on the information on the charts. So the information on the charts at this current point of time is showing me that price is making lower highs, okay, and lower lows, right? It's very clear it's making lower lows. So it is a downtrend. So there's no reason for me to suddenly think that price is going to do a breakout out for no reason. Okay, so for price action, I think price is signaling it's time for a reversal. Okay, it's time for a reversal. But then again, like I said, because we're looking at the weekly time frame, price could wick. It could wick. It could be a temporary uptrend. It could wick very high. You see how long this wick is? Or this wick, it could wick before wanting to come back down. So it could be that price has a lot of room more, but for me personally, I'm still a bit biased of it still being a sell. Okay, it's just that it could be that the sell is not right now. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's right now anymore because my style of trading is that the indicators and price action needs to be aligned. They must be telling me the same thing. In this case, I'm seeing that there's a possibility for a sell, but indicators are telling me that it's a buy. Okay, the indicators are telling me it's a buy. Therefore, I'm just going to step out and just observe this trade. But this is basically bias that okay, so I'm biased that it's time for a reversal to the downside. Okay, I'm biased that it's time for price to do this, but it's probably not right now because the indicators are all pointing up. Okay, it could be next week when we come back. Next week when I take you guys again. Oh, by the way, next week I'm taking you guys on Wednesday rather than Monday, okay? Then moving forward, it will be every Wednesday. Let me see. Yeah, so moving forward, it will be every Wednesday. Okay, so I think it's down, but it's probably not right now because indicators are all showing up. Okay, all the indicators are showing that it's up, so there's probably a bit more room for price to go up first. And then once it has lost its exhaustion, maybe here, then it might want to come down. Okay, so my best bet for this, okay, if I have to come up with something, my best bet that is that price still has a bit more room to go up. Is it gonna be here? I'm not sure. Okay, because like I said, I need everything to be pointing in the same direction. So then my stop loss would just be here. And my take profit will be, I mean, if it really reverses, we're talking about a really, really long sell. Okay? I'm talking about a really, really long sell. So this could be like a 1 to 20 trade. Okay, let's say I'm aiming back at here. That means I've caught the highest of the highest high. This looks like a really long... Oh, it's only 1 to 10. Okay, I expected it to be more, but yeah. About a 1 to 10 trade. Okay, so about a 1 to 10 trade, provided this is in fact the high. Okay, I think price is gonna make a high somewhere and then reverse and start turning. That will be the high of the high for a while, and then it's going to start reversing. I'm sorry, at this current point of time, I just cannot pinpoint where exactly the high is going to be because there are no Fibonacci levels lining up in the same area other than this 161.8. Okay, so if you guys have been following me week after week, you know that the best analysis is when there are multiple Fibonacci levels lining up in the same area. Okay, so let's say there are like 5 Fibonacci levels or 6 Fibonacci levels lining up all here where the 161.8 is. I'm going to tell you that I personally will get into this trade as well because I'm going to assume this is going to be the high. Okay, this is going to be a high and then we're going to reverse and start with a long reversal down. Okay, even possibly breaking this, and then continuing down here. Okay, so it's going to be a very, very, very long pullback to the downside. Okay, it's just that I cannot really pinpoint a very strong area where the swing high is going to end. But if I have to guess, this is going to be my best bet. Okay, this is going to be my best bet. Okay, yeah, so that's all I have for AUD USD. Okay, give me a moment, guys. I've got about 20 more minutes with you guys, and my computer only has 11% left. Okay, let me plug in my charger. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, guys. I'm so glad my charger is working. Okay, let's move on. I think let's look at ETH USD. I mean, it is at the entry of my last setup. Let's see if this setup is actually gonna hold. Let's redo this to see why I even called for that sell. Why did I call for that sell? I mean, look at this. Price is clearly moving in a channel, right? Let me change the color. I don't know who's been changing the color of my... Wait, how do I change the color of my channel? Oh my gosh. Bullish. Okay, there you go. Depending on how this is drawn, right? This actually looks like a very clean, nice channel. So remember I said that a valid channel would require 2 touches on the top and 2 at the bottom. So 2 at the resistance area. I mean, obviously it's never going to be perfect, but this is close, good enough. And then 2 at the support area. We are kind of looking at that right now. So why did I call for that sell last week? I'm not sure, but this is why every time I do an analysis, I usually erase everything and redo the analysis, okay? Because I don't want to have bias, right? I don't want to have bias. It could be that last week I was seeing things from a different point of view, and this week I'm seeing things from a different point of view. So I don't know why last week I called for that sell, but now that I'm looking at it, it looks like it's actually time for price to go up. Okay, so let me see, guys. Let me see. Okay. Um, I think I was calling for a sell because on the week, on the daily price is moving on a channel as well, right? On the daily price is also moving on a downtrend channel. Okay, so will the weekly win or the daily win? Let's see. Okay, so weekly is telling us that it's up, daily is telling us that it's down. Let's see what 4 hours wants to do. Okay, since we have conflicting informations for ETH/USD, I'm going to just mark out horizontal levels, and then from there, I'm probably going to do a buy or sell. Okay, I do this pretty often actually when I do a buy or sell area. Okay, so that means that if price does this, then I'm going to enter for a buy. If price does this, then I'm going to enter for a sell. Okay. Yeah, so right now it's like a question mark. So why am I marking this area? You can see this is a key level. Price came here 1 time, 2 times, kind of hover here a while, then 3 times. This barely touched, but I'm gonna count it 4 times, 5 times, and now we are at time number 6. Okay, so is it gonna do a breakout or is it going to reverse from here? Okay, on the weekly, again, let's go back to the weekly. On the weekly, even if price reverses right now, it wouldn't make much of a difference because this can go sideways and it would still be respecting the channel, right? It still won't break out. So this could end up being a red candle. We can have a bearish day, but this channel would still be intact. Okay, so we want to focus on what the smaller time frames are showing us. Okay, so daily is obviously showing us that it is going on a downtrend. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna give my bias, but I think I already know what it is. Okay, I'm pulling up Fibonacci levels. Yikes, I really don't know who changes the colors of my stuff. Red, red, red. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna get rid of the 78.6 and the 38.2, and I'm keeping that box here. I know price has left early. Okay, I'm gonna keep 61.8. One, two, three. Let me see. Honestly, this point was such a good entry for a sell. Just waiting for a pullback to see. Just forcing it at this point. Give me a moment, guys. Okay, nothing worth looking at. Okay, I'm gonna still continue saying that it's a cell. Yeah, because this could very much be a cell. It needs to respect this area here. Okay, let's pull out indicators. Okay, so I've already got an idea of what I want to do. So the idea that I'm going to do is enter for a cell somewhere here. My stop loss is going to be above this red box. And my take profit is going to be the next swing low. So the next swing low could be here. But it also could be here. Okay, so one is being a bit more conservative. And the other one is aiming for the next level. Okay, this is the rough idea that I have in mind right now. But obviously, because the weekly is showing that it's an uptrend, there is a chance that price could just break out right now. Okay, there's a chance that price may not reverse here. There's a chance that price will continue to go up. Okay, but at this current point of time, I think it's a sell. Let me plot all the indicators to see what they are saying. Like I said, I want all the indicators to agree with my analysis. Okay, currently bias that it's a sell. I need the indicators to agree with me. Stochastic's not really agreeing with me. Stochastic is saying that there is a bit more room for price to move up. So that means that based on stochastics, price could continue to go up to where the stop loss is even before turning back. Okay, that's stochastics. That's okay. RSI. Same for RSI. Same for RSI. Okay, let's pull out the moving average. Currently still on a downtrend. Moving average is still showing that price is on a downtrend. Okay, so if the green is moving below the red, I mean the white, it means that it's a downtrend. If the green is moving above the white, means that it's a downtrend. So I'll give you guys an example. You can see how here the green went below the white here, and then price has just been moving down since. Okay, so at this current point of time, it is still moving under the white. It is still suggesting that we are still on a downtrend for ETH USD. So it could be pullbacks. Pullbacks are always possible. It's just that overall the entire trend is still down. Okay, until that green breaks the white, it is still down. Okay. Yeah, I would have thought so too. Okay, I would have thought that. Conflicting low. Okay. I'm still for ETH USD being a sell. It's just that maybe compared to last week, I'm not as confident more. Okay, so I still think sell at resistance area, but mid probability. This is honestly a 50-50 thing. Okay, this one is not a high probability setup as well. Like I said, for a high probability setup for me to find a high probability setup, everything needs to align. That means price action needs to align with indicators. But in this case, price action, the weekly is telling me it's a buy, the daily is telling me it's a sell. The 4 hours is obviously following the daily. I'm drawing the trend line, I'm drawing the support and the support resistance levels, and there is resistance here where this red box is. So I think there is going to be some kind of reaction here. If price is strong enough, I think it might just break and go higher, but I'm a bit more biased of it reversing here. Okay, I'm a bit more biased of it reversing here, hoping that the this resistance area holds. Okay, I hope this resistance area holds and then price reverses here. If it doesn't hold, means it's going to break and hit the stop loss. Okay, this is something I actually might consider, although it's mid probability. I would prefer price being high probability, obviously, but sometimes the things are not aligning and you cannot force it. Okay, you cannot force things to not align. DXY, okay? US dollar currency index. The US dollar currency index is showing bearishness. Okay, we are talking about uptrend, 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 and then breakout. Okay, and then we are also talking about current downtrend happening here. So I can see why the EUR is just going sideways, because DXY is just did a downtrend and now it's going sideways as well. Okay, this is going sideways. This is uncertainty. Uncertainty means that even the markets is unsure whether it's going to break or not. I think, let me just do a quick search to see if let me do a quick search to see if there's any news on the US dollar. Give me a moment. Okay. The US dollar currently is expected to be bearish, which, I mean, the DXY is showing it. Okay, so this sell is risky, okay? Because you are shorting, this is the ETH USD, right? If you want the ETH to go down in price, you want the US dollar to go up in price. You cannot have both going down in price. That doesn't work, right? If they're both going down in price, this will just go sideways. Okay, they need to go opposite directions. So right now we've got the DXY showing, I mean the US dollar showing a bit of weakness. Okay, so there is a possibility of breakout here. That's why I think this is a mid probability. This is definitely not high probability, and this is also another mid probability setup, because the US dollar index is going sideways and showing a bit of weakness. So if the US dollar is showing weakness, that means this EUR has a chance of rallying higher. Okay, so I know if I redo this analysis, I'm still gonna stick with it being bearish. Okay, I'm still going to stick with this analysis being bearish. So for me, Long-term bearishness. Short-term, I just want to see if there's a bit more upside. Okay, I'm happy with this analysis. What I think is going to happen is that UR is going to continue going sideways. So what I'm going to do is actually find a better entry. This is a fake out. You guys can see that, right? This is a fake out. How do I know it's a fake out? Because if this was truly a breakout, price will do this and then continue to rally up. Okay, so there's a possibility this is a fake out because it broke out, it broke this red box, and then now it came back into the red below the red box. Okay, so at this current point in time, I'm still biased that this is a sell. Entry will still be this red box. Entry will still be this red box. Stop loss will be above this high. And my take profit will still be here. So this is still my analysis for EUR/USD. I'll come back next week to see if this played out, but I just don't know because there's a lot of uncertainty happening right now. Uncertainty, uncertainty, uncertainty. Therefore, all of these setups are low probability setups. Not low probability setups, but mid probability setups. Okay? These are things that I might not get in myself. Even if I do get into these trades, I'll go in a very, very, very small lot size, maybe 0.5%. Okay? ETH/USD, I actually will get into this setup because I think this one's a 50-50. I know the best rule of thumb is to only enter high probability setups. Okay, that's the rule that I usually give everyone. But now I'm giving myself a bit more leeway by saying, okay, instead of only entering high probability setups, I'm okay to enter like mid probability setups, but I enter at a very, very low, like a smaller lot size. I enter with lower risk. So I actually might enter this one. I think chances of me getting stop out is there. The chance of getting stop out is definitely there. Okay, I just have a feeling that this is going to stop out. Okay, but I might just consider getting in a very small lot size just to test out the theory to see if it works out. This one, same. I think there is a chance that it is going to drop. I mean, sorry, break out. Okay, XAU/USD. If I think ETH/USD is going down, obviously XAU/USD is going up because they are inversely related. Okay, they're inversely related because XAU/USD is considered a safe gold is considered a safe haven asset, whereas cryptocurrency is considered a risky asset. So they usually move in the opposite directions. Okay, so you can see everything is just going sideways. This has been going sideways since last Monday. Okay, everything is just going sideways because everything is just uncertainty at this current point of time. Okay, this is going sideways. This is not going sideways, but yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty happening. Okay, AUD/USD, I personally think it's a sell. Okay, whether it will drop right now, I like to believe it will drop somewhere within this red box, but yeah, it's hard to say, but I based on bias, I personally would like to see price dropping somewhere within this red box. More likely to be here with 161.8% is I would want to have a higher probability area to get in for this setup, but I do not see any other horizontal levels. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys this week. I'll see you guys next week. I will be taking you guys on Wednesday next week. Okay, and then moving forward it will be every Wednesday. Probably, okay, actually, yeah, next week will be Wednesday, and then it'll be Christmas Eve, and then it will be New Year's Eve. But if I'll have to make any changes, I'll let you guys know the week before. Okay, so bye everyone, take care. Thanks for joining my webinar. Please like and share so I can do more of these webinars for you guys. Sorry I couldn't find a high probability setup today because I mean it's not always there, right? I cannot force the markets to give me a high probability setup. And if I give you one, I would be faking it. Okay, so I don't want to lie to you guys. The setups are mid probability. The chances of it hitting the stop loss is definitely there. Okay, bye everyone. Take care.